Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vitvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 16 to 20 of chapter 3. Evam pravartitam chakram
Evam pravartitam chakram
Nanuvartayati hayah
Nanuvartayati hayah
Aghayurindriya ramah
Aghayurindriya ramah
Mogham partha sajivati
Mogham partha sajivati
Yastvat maratireva syad
Yastvat maratireva syad
Atmatriptascha manavah
Atmatriptascha manavah
Atmanyeva cha santushtah
Atmanyeva cha santushtah
Tasya karyam na vidyate
Tasya karyam na vidyate
Naiva tasya krite narthah
Naiva tasya krite narthah
Na krite neha kaschana
Na krite neha kaschana
Na chasya sarva bhuteshu
Na chasya sarva bhuteshu
Kaschidharthavyapashrayah
Kaschidharthavyapashrayah
Tasmadasaktah satatam
Tasmadasaktah satatam
Karyam karma samachara
Karyam karma samachara
Asakta ह्याचरन् कर्म
असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म
परमाप्नोति पूरुषः
परमाप्नोति पूरुषः
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
आस्थिता जनकादयः
आस्थिता जनकादयः
लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि
लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि
सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि
सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So last week we were seeing this phrase, Indriyaramaha, one who delights in the senses. We can say one who is stuck with the senses. Then it becomes more clear. So when he is using the word Indriya, now Indriya means the sense organs, the sense organs of perception, the sense organs of action, the jnana indriyas and the karma indriyas. But you need not restrict them merely to senses. They are only symbolic. Indriya means all experiences of life. That is, it represents all experiences of life. See, he is taking the sense enjoyments as an example. This is a typical style of the Shastras. What they do is they always just take up one aspect or one thing to represent the whole. So you need to use the yogic approach to go deep and then expand the context. So one is going deep into the meaning of what is Indriya and all that. But here I am talking about expanding the context itself. For example, let's say an alcoholic who's addicted to alcohol, he comes to me for guidance. And he asks me, let us say, what should I do to develop spiritually? Now, what will I tell him? I'll tell him, first, you should not be addicted to alcohol. You should come out of your addiction to alcohol. Now, when he hears this statement, you should not be addicted to alcohol. You should not be, I tell him, you should not be a slave to alcohol. Now, when he hears the statement, oh, Yogishri is telling me I should not be addicted to alcohol. So, if he takes that statement as an end in itself, now what will happen is he will apply it only with respect to alcohol. So, he goes into the depth, what is addiction, all that he does ask, and he gets the answers. But then finally, he doesn't expand the context. He is applying this only in the context of alcohol. So next week he gives up alcohol addiction but becomes a drug addict, let us say. Now, if you really very technically see, what was the advice given to him? Give up the addiction to alcohol. So that he has done. But yet, would you say that in spirit, in depth, he has followed that advice? You will say no. Why? Because he has understood addiction. He has understood how you should not be addicted to alcohol. He has applied that. But he has narrowed down the context. There, when the advice was given to him that don't get addicted to alcohol, the alcohol is only an example because he had that issue. But alcohol represents all other things like drugs. It could be anything which can cause addiction. So many people, what they do is they don't expand the context and understand. See, depth is of two types. One is going deep into the meaning of a particular word. The other one is expanding the context and understanding the context in depth. Now, unless you develop both these kinds of depth, you will not really benefit. In the yogic approach, we use both these kinds of depth. That is the beauty. So, first of all, people don't use the yogic approach at all. They just have a mere intellectual approach and they see the word meaning and some sort of a logical analysis they make. It's all very superficial and they leave it at that. So rarely, very rarely you find a person who uses the yogic approach and goes within. Goes within means I am talking of first principle. But even there, the first depth is with respect to the meaning of that principle. The other depth is expanding the context and understanding it deeply. That part most of the people miss out. Even I'm talking of even those people who go into the depth. So that is why the message of the scriptures, the true message of the scriptures, has not reached all the sadhaks. They just get some superficial message or a little, they go into a little bit of depth and then they stop with that. So here, what we are doing is, number one, we are going beyond the intellectual approach. We are using the yogic approach to go deep into these principles. And then we are also expanding the context and getting into tremendous depth. So when he is talking about indriyaramaha, indriya, don't restrict the context only to the senses. Oh, sense enjoyments alone, I should not indulge or I should not get stuck. Other things, it's okay if I get stuck. Even though you don't spell it out like that, but that's how the deeper mind understands it. So now you expand the context. Indriya, here in the, I'm talking about this verse, represents all kinds of experiences which you can get in the world. What are the different kinds of experiences you can get? Physical experiences, emotional experiences, and intellectual experiences. So, all the kinds of experiences which you can get in the world are represented by this word indriya. He is just taking that as an example. So, just as when it is said, don't get addicted to alcohol, the deeper meaning is don't get addicted to drugs, don't get addicted to cigarette, don't get addicted to anything. So, similarly, when he says this person will merely delight in the senses, means his consciousness will get stuck at the sense organ level. It is not restricted to merely sense organ. If your consciousness gets stuck at the emotional level with respect to emotional pleasures, then also you will devolve. If your consciousness gets stuck at the thought level, mere intellectual pleasures, there also you will have issues. So, Indriya Aramaha means not getting stuck with anything which this world has to offer, but keeping your higher goal very clear. So, a person who does not follow the revolving wheel, thus said here, sinful, he gets stuck with something or other in the world. We are talking about the mental attachment, the consciousness getting stuck. So, how do you get stuck? You get stuck in two ways. We see, when we talk of mental attachment, there are two kinds of people who are attached. The first kind is one who indulges. We'll take again the example of sense pleasures themselves, because he's directly giving that. When you go and indulge in the sense enjoyments, now the mind cannot stop thinking about that. Before the experience, it will be excited, cannot rest quietly. During the experience, it will be so excited, the mind, and then after the experience is over, it will carry the hang-ups of that experience. Complete indulgence. So, indulgence is one way where your consciousness gets stuck. You get mentally attached. So, now that you have understood with respect to sense enjoyments, you can now expand the context. In any experience, if your mind gets attached, thereafter you will lose all your freedom. Before the experience, you are unable to be relaxed. During the experience, you have that anxiety, of enjoying that or experiencing that. And then after that experience is over, you are not able to leave it in your mind. Even though it has physically gone, you are not able to leave it in your mind. You carry the hang-ups of your past. So, this is with respect to emotions, thoughts, sense organs, any experience you take. This includes money also, because that is another kind of experience, acquiring wealth. But if wealth alone is the center of your life, now that is not a good thing. Then you will become a slave to wealth. So, he is not against experiencing, he is only against becoming a slave to the world. Because in the next verse, he'll be giving you the opposite, how a person attains freedom. Just the opposite of this. So the more your consciousness is stuck in an experience, you are unable to move on. See, some people, I'm expanding the context now and giving you. Some people, what happens is something would have happened, let's say, 15 years back. Now they carry those impressions even now. They are unable to move forward in life. Supposing, let's say, you try to pursue something in your life when you were in college. You wrote the exams and all that, but you didn't get through. Now, the age limit has been crossed, so you cannot again go back and write. Let's take a situation like this. Now the experience has ended, so you should learn to drop it there and move on. But what happens is that hang up, you carry it forward for many years. Due to which you develop an inferiority complex, you go through so much of stress. Why all that? Instead, if you just learn to drop it off then and there, you will become a free person. All your stress will go away. So you go and talk to anyone. They will always be stuck. Their consciousness will be stuck with various things which have happened to them in the past. If you just trigger a little bit, they'll start their story, That is what he means by aramaha, getting stuck in experiences, mentally getting stuck. When I was young, this happened to me. Okay, so why are you carrying it even now? The reason why you're carrying it is obvious, because you didn't know what sadhana to do. But now that you have the sadhana materials with you, you have come into this yogic path, you should not get stuck with the past. Instead, you should learn to release all of them. Use the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana material to release the hang-ups of your past and become a free person. Nobody is stopping you. If you bring that intention, it will happen. Some people ask me, sir, I want to release, but it's not getting released. Impossible. If you truly want to release something, this Guru Shakti will work, will guide you, and it will help you to release. Somewhere deep within you want to hold on to that experience. Maybe some sorrowful experience because you like self-pity, or maybe anger against someone, whatever be it. So expand the context of this phrase, Indriyaramaha, and you will find that the application becomes very wide. So experience by experience, your consciousness is getting stuck today. Why is it getting stuck? Because you are not following the Yajna Chakra. For a person who does not follow the revolving wheel thus set here, the Yajna Chakram, for such a person, the consciousness will get stuck. So, when you get stuck with the experiences, you get enmeshed in the finite. You move away from that infinite supreme reality, which is actually your source. Essentially, you are divine, but you move away from that source. because of this deadly tendency which he calls as aramaha here. Elsewhere he may use the word aramaha. That's a neutral word only actually. You can use that word aramaha in a positive sense also. So don't get stuck with the word. Again, let not your consciousness get stuck with the word, go to the spirit of it. Here he is using it in a negative sense. So one way how your consciousness gets stuck and how your mind gets attached is through indulgence. Now the other way is through forced abstinence. When you completely abstain yourself of the sensual pleasures, the emotional pleasures and intellectual pleasures, that is all the normal experiences of life, then also the mind will get attached. The mind will start developing a value for all those experiences. See, the mind is so deadly. Just because a person has given up things externally doesn't necessarily mean that the mind has given up. Actually, such people who are in the mode of self-denial, you study their psychology, they'll be very suppressed people, repressed people. They'll get angry over every small thing. They'll be highly critical about others. They'll judge others. The moment they start talking, they will say, "Oh, you fools, you have committed sins." That is how they'll talk. The way they look at others itself will be very judgmental. If they see another person enjoying, now they'll get very angry. They'll criticize. He has no other purpose, they'll say. A yogi will never be judgmental. He'll be very peaceful. See, even with respect to money, either people indulge with respect to money. That is one way of becoming slavish. Or there are some people who say, I just hate money. Such people also actually have a hidden desire for money, hidden attachment. Not merely a desire, but attachment. They have just been loaded with these wrong concepts that money is wrong and money is a sin and all that. Nowhere in this ancient wisdom is it said that money is a sin. They only say your greed for money, your attachment or slavishness towards money is a sin. But yet, with those wrong concepts, they say we hate money. You see, such people, they will have a hidden agenda always. I know one so-called spiritual guru. He's actually not a true spiritual guru. Talking of many, many years back, he used to say, I will not touch money. I will not touch money. So if you go and give any Guru Dakshina to him, he will say, I will not touch money. Then he always has a bag with him, so he'll open the bag. You can put the money directly in the bag, but he will not touch it. He has his assistant to come and count it. Now, you really think about this. Is this true detachment? But there are people who think, what a great saint he is. He doesn't touch money. Please don't be so gullible and fall for such, what do we say, false practices. A true yogi, why should he fear money or sense objects or anything in the world? One who has risen above all this can be free, no? Nothing can touch him. So, quoting and indulging, if that can take you away from your center, if that can get your consciousness to devolve, withdrawing, denying yourself, frustrating yourself, suppressing yourself, that also will get your consciousness stuck to the same object. See, in life, if you are indulging in something, now that will constantly occupy your mind. If you try to avoid something, that will also occupy your mind. Your mind is always thinking about those people whom you hate. If you are indulging with someone, there also, but now it's interesting, even when you hate someone so much, now he will constantly be occupying your mind. So some people indulge in the world, they lose their consciousness. Some people hate the world, and the worst part is they call that as detachment. In the Yoga Sankirtan empowerment, which we are going to start from tomorrow, I'll cover this in greater detail. I'll be giving you a special empowerment when we do the Nirvana Shatkam, so that you get to the center. Very, very special empowerment. After that, your whole level itself will be lifted up. Of course, you should come with an open mind, and with all humility and gratitude, you should receive it fully. That is in your hands. So, whether you are in the world, whether you are away from, in the world means the day-to-day experiences, or whether you are trying to avoid all that, all those things do not matter. Where is your consciousness? A person who's sitting in a cave may be thinking about money, sense objects, all this. A person who is in the world may be thinking about God. It is only the mind which matters. That's why Adi Shankara in the Bhajagovindam, he said, Yogarato va, Bhogarato va, Sangarato va, Sangavihinaha. Means you may be in yoga, spiritual practice, or you may be in bhoga, worldly enjoyments. It doesn't matter, he says. Sangarato va, Sangavihinaha. You may be in company, or you may be without any company, in solitude. That also does not matter. Yogarato va, Bhogarato va, Sangarato va, Sangavihinaha. Yasya Brahmani Ramate Chittam Nandati Nandati Nandatyeva. Who is truly a spiritual person? Not one who is merely externally in yoga or worldly enjoyment. All these things do not matter whether you are in company. Yasya Brahmani Ramate Chittam. The Chittam, that consciousness, the mind, which comes from the consciousness. All these things are always fixed in Brahman. Yasya Brahmani Ramate Chittam. Brahman means that supreme infinite reality. Nandati Nandati Nandatyeva. That person alone revels. He is truly spiritual, he says. What a powerful message. We are going to see that in the next verse. How that person revels, is always in a state of happiness. It's a very powerful state, which you can easily achieve provided you do your sadhana properly in a focused way. So don't get caught up with limited concepts about spirituality also. Oh, if I don't eat this particular kind of food, now I am spiritual. If I don't wear this particular dress, now I have become spiritual. Come out of all these concepts. If you don't want to eat that particular kind of food, don't eat. If there is a specific purpose for it, okay. But per se, don't think now that is going to make you so spiritual. If that is the case, we don't require all these verses, we don't require these sessions and all. Simple. You just come. You want to become spiritual? Don't eat this, eat this. Avoid all these dresses, wear these dresses. Simple do's and don'ts we can give and send you. It's not so simple. The mind is so deadly. It can come and trade the spiritual energy which you're building through your sadhana, even at a very advanced stage. See, in one of the Upanishads, as the master is giving the healing and empowerment, and he gives out a mantra, the student goes to a very exalted state. His consciousness is lifted up. It's a very advanced stage, and he starts reveling. And at that point, the Guru cautions him, whatever you're experiencing is not the highest. Don't get stuck there, he says. Even at a very advanced level, the same principle is applicable. So, at any point, if your consciousness gets stuck, you will not move up. So, it does not matter where you are, what level you are in. What matters is what is the direction which you're taking. Even if you are only at 10% level of development, if your aim is to move up, you will quickly move up. If you are at 50% level, but your direction is down, you will devolve quickly. So, direction is so important as far as spiritual growth is concerned. So, he says, Indriyaramaha means the direction starts turning downwards, irrespective of what level he or she is in. So, Indriya represents all kinds of experiences. He has taken that as an example. Aramaha is the key point there, key principle there, where your consciousness gets stuck. It gets into a state where it does not grow further. Then you are in trouble. So if you don't follow the Yajna Chakram, it says your whole life will be full of agham, that is negative energy, sin, and you will just be stuck. Your consciousness will be stuck with something or other. That's what he means by Indriyaramaha. And then we'll continue further. He says, he lives in vain. Saha jivati. Jivati means lives. Mogham. Mogham sa jivati. Means, mogham means in vain. Useless, he says. It's a very, again, a strong word which he is using. Mogham. Means, jivati means lives, but a few sessions back I told you, there's a difference between living and existing. So even though he is living externally, but he is living without life. Lifeless living, we can say. We're just simply coining some term to explain this, which is what is called as existing. What is existing? Do you remember? If you are not living up to the dignity of your level, then it is existing. If an animal does what a plant is doing, then it is existing. If a plant is not breathing, it is not growing, but it's doing whatever the minerals are doing, then it is existing. So, whatever level you are in, you need to express that fully, then only you are living. So, Sahajivati, he is living, but there is no life. In vain, he says, Mogham. It's a very powerful or a very strong word which he is using. Mogham. His whole life goes away in vain. What do we mean by Mogham? We will see some of the dimensions in that. Mogham means vain, the first dimension, which is what we have put in the translation. Why is he saying that? As a human being, you have that capacity to expand your consciousness and become one with the infinite. So if you're not using this human birth for that, but if your consciousness is again getting stuck to something lower, you might as well be in some other creature. No, why take the human birth? So you have not lived up to the potential of a human being. Therefore, he says, vain. Means it's wasted. The great opportunity has been wasted, he says, for such a person. See, supposing, let's take a sport like tennis, Wimbledon. A player puts in all the hard work and comes up to the final. And then when he comes to the final the previous day night, let us say he goes to a party and gets drunk and all that. Next day is a match, but fully drunk and he doesn't sleep properly. And when he comes there, he's got that groggy feeling and, he's not in his full senses. And he plays and he loses that. What would you tell him? You will say, what a waste of time and effort. You will not say the same thing to a person who would have lost, let us say, in the first round or second round or prior to the final. Only to this person you will say that. Because having come up to this level, having put in all the hard work and having come up to the finals, if you just throw that opportunity away, you will say, Mogham, your whole effort is Mogham, is a waste. So there is a very beautiful song, a Tamil Siddhar, he gave out this, where he was talking about the preciousness of the human birth and how it is being wasted. He compares that with a person who requests the potter to make a beautiful vessel for him, to make a nice pot and give him. And then after so much of requests and effort, he gets that thing, he just breaks it and wastes everything. Nandavanatil vor andi. Means there also he uses the word Nandavanam. In the Nandavanam means, that's what he says, no, Aramaha. Aramaha also means garden. It's the same message only. It means his consciousness is stuck. Nandavanatil vor andi. Andi means one who has nothing. That is a reference to all the individuals. You may claim I have this, I have that, but the fact is you came alone, you have to go alone. So that one word andi means you have nothing, you own nothing, he says. So Nandavanatil vor andi, avan nalaru madamai kuyavanai vendi. Kuyavan means potter. for many months. Nalaru means you can take it as 10 months. When you're in the mother's womb, you request the creator. Potter means you're the creator. Kuyavanai vendi means you request the potter. Kundu vandan oru tondi means vessel, the pot. So he brought this human birth. Human birth is always compared to the vessel. Kutadi kutadi potu daitandi means he just simply kutadi means he just simply danced like a mad person. Means indulging or getting into the other extreme and losing oneself, And potudaitandi, he just broke whatever vessel. So much of effort he put in, he requested and got that vessel, and then he frittered away that opportunity. He broke that into pieces. Nandavanathil vor aandi avan nalaru maadamai kuyavanai vendi. Kuyavan means creator. Potter. Kundu vandan oru thondi. Human birth. Adai kutadi potu daitandi. Udaitandi means he broke it. How? Kutadi means getting so excited and completely losing one's purpose. So it is actually a very positive message. See, this message will be given to only to a person who has the potential. When he says mogam, vain, it is given only to a person who has potential. That's why I gave you that example. A person who comes to the final and then wastes that opportunity, definitely you will tell him. A person who got defeated in the very first round, you will tell him well played, because he doesn't have the potential to win the tournament. So the fact that he's saying the whole life becomes mogam, vain, means that shows how much of potential you have. Take it in the positive sense. That great Tamil Siddha's message also is a very positive message to make people aware, to awaken your consciousness. So precious this human birth is. Don't waste it. Do your daily sadhana. Enjoy the world, nothing wrong with that. They are not against enjoyment. But there, kutadi means you without any purpose, like a mad person, you waste all that opportunities. See, it's the same person who is in the finals of the Wimbledon. If he says, are you saying, sir, you should never go to attend a party? That is not what is said. But what is the potential you're having just before the final? You're wasting that opportunity, no? Why can't you go to the same party after the final? The context is what matters. You're losing yourself. Your mind is going out of control. So, mogham means vain, wasted. We will see some other dimensions of mogham also, which are all derived from this only, but the emphasis will be slightly different. Mogham also means useless, fruitless. See, when you follow the Yajna Chakram, when you do sadhana, you will be able to materialize whatever it is that you want. Incidentally, you will be detached, but you will be able to materialize. Again, in the Yoga Sankirtana empowerment course from tomorrow, the very first empowerment is going to be of Mahaganapati Dhyana. Mahaganapati represents the energy of success. Then Om Saravana Bhava Dhyana, the energy of dynamism and achievement. So that materialization will start happening to your satisfaction, because your mind powers will be tapped. Whereas if you are merely stuck with things and you lose your mind, then you cannot achieve anything in life, fruitless, useless. So you will neither be an achiever in the world, nor will you attain spiritual greatness. You see, even to achieve something in the world, a certain amount of discipline, a certain amount of sacrifice, a certain amount of these yogic principles would have been followed by that person, only with respect to that field. But if you don't follow any discipline at all, then mogham, useless. You cannot achieve anything, fruitless. So now reverse it. If you want to achieve something, follow the yajna chakram in that field. So it's that is one dimension. Another dimension of mogham. Mogham means unprofitable. This will appeal to the mind a lot because the mind always tries to calculate profit. No? What am I gaining out of this? What am I getting out of this? That is the very tendency of the mind. He says when you don't follow the yajna chakram, you will not get any profit, you will not get any gains. Whereas when you follow the yajna chakram, the opposite of it, you should project and understand. You will gain material success and you will gain spiritual success. Then why aren't you doing? Because you have wrong understanding. Your understanding is very weak about spirituality. You're thinking spirituality means you have to run away and all that. No way. So, mogham means in vain, that great opportunity is wasted. It means useless, fruitless, means you don't materialize anything, all the powers of the mind go away. It is very unprofitable. See, when you do a business, let us say, what for are you doing business ultimately? To make profit only. Supposing you don't make any profit out of your business, you've only taken loans instead of increasing the sales, the income, you're just taking loans and you're managing the day-to-day things somehow. Is that a good sign? It's highly unprofitable. So you attend school, you go to college. Why? Because it's profitable, you gain knowledge. Supposing you go to college, no, they don't teach you anything. Then it's profitable, no? So always your mind wants profit. Now we are not saying that is wrong and all that. Instead we are directing it towards the higher. That is a simple yogic approach. Instead of fighting against the mind, you can just give it a higher direction, it will start moving up. So when he says when you don't follow the yajna chakram, it will be unprofitable, reverse it. If you follow the yajna chakra, it will be very profitable for you. Then another dimension of mogham, all these are related only. Another dimension of mogham is unsuccessful. See, when your mind loses its powers, then anything you do, you will be unsuccessful in that. When you focus your mental powers and do something, you're increasing the chances of success. The sun has so much of light and heat, but they are all scattered, the rays are scattered. So supposing you take a convex lens and place it under the sun, and then you place a matchstick under it. After a while, it will burn the matchstick. This is because the sun's rays which were scattered now gets focused, converges through the lens. Similarly, when your mind's uh, 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 thoughts and desire and emotions, all of them are scattered, there is no power. But when you learn to focus your mind, which is what a yogi does, now instantly you will become successful in anything which you do. You go and ask any achiever, they'll say at least temporarily they were they focused their mind on whatever they were doing. A person who lacks focus cannot achieve anything. Whether it is a student preparing for an examination, whether it's a businessman who's doing business, businessman or woman, or a person who's cooking, if he or she is not focused, the, the proportion will not come out properly. So, when you allow your mind to go away everywhere, that's what we saw, Agham and Aghayuhu and Indriya Ramaha, because you're not following the higher principles. Now all your energies will get frittered away. That is when you're maximizing the chances of failure. You'll be unsuccessful, he says. So I'm side by side giving you the positive aspect. So that is a very practical and inspiring dimension of Mogham. Then we will see one more dimension which will be very useful to you. Mogham also means aimless, having no purpose or aim, purposeless. So whenever you have no aim or purpose, your actions will not gather momentum or power. It is only when you have a purpose in life, an aim, that your actions will start becoming powerful. Your personality itself will not have any impact when you are aimless. You see, all the great leaders, they will be very focused, they will have some purpose, and that is what makes their personality charismatic. So, the followers also start following, not simply because they are saying something is not that, because some purpose they have. That purpose may not be the highest, but relatively speaking, a person who has a very clear aim or purpose will start inspiring others also. Their personality will become charismatic, magnetic. So, how do you get a magnetic personality? By fixing your purpose in life. And your ultimate purpose in life is self-realization or God realization. If you are able to fix that as your aim, all your energies will start getting aligned. Your personality will become very powerful and magnetic. What we call as Akarshana Shakti means that Shakti or power to attract. It will automatically come. So when you go to a spiritual master, now why is it that his presence is so powerful? His aura, the energy which he is emitting is so powerful, because he follows the Yajna Chakram. So his whole personality becomes magnetic. So if you don't have any aim, first fix an aim. Let it be a lower aim also, but fix some aim. It's better to have a lower aim rather than having no aim at all. Then you make your aim or purpose better and better, refine your purpose till you come to the final purpose, which is the ultimate purpose of life, attaining self-realization or God realization. Once your mind gets fixed in that, your whole personality, becomes divine, becomes so powerful. Anything which you do in life will be backed by the divine power. Otherwise, mogham, your life is that of vain, he says, being born as a human being. So one who does not follow the revolving wheel thus set here, the Yajna Chakram, agayuhu, whole life is full of negative energy, indriyaramaha, consciousness gets stuck in the finite, saha mogham jivati, he lives in vain. That person's life itself is wasted. I've given the various dimensions of mogham. O Partha. Partha is another name for Arjuna. Very, very much suitable in this context. How did Partha get that name? Partha means son of Pritha. Pritha was a name of Kunti, another name of Kunti, his mother. See, in the good old days, it was not, a male dominant society or a female dominant society. There was nothing like that. Everyone was considered as equals. People were identified with their mother's names also, equally as their father's names. See, Arjuna was called Pandava also, which is Panduputra. He was also called Partha. Partha means son of Pritha. He was also called Kaunteya, or son of Kunti. So some people ask me, sir, why is it that only a father's name has to be put? It's not a rule like that. You can use anything. If you want, you can put your mother's name also. Ultimately, both your mother, father, they are your parents, no? I'm saying in a name. Somewhere down the line, all these principles got lost. So here, actually, Arjuna was known, for being the son of Kunti. So why is he using that word here, that name here? Why is he calling him as Partha in this context? That is something which you can understand. That is something which will help you in your sadhana. That is, see, in this context, why he is calling Arjuna as a son of Pritha, that is Kunti, is because Kunti was such a strong lady. She lost her husband when, the Pandavas, that is the 5 children, were very young. 5 sons were very young, her sons. So at that time itself, she lost her husband. So she raised her sons all alone. Initially, in the initial years, they were fully brought up by Kunti. Single parenting. But what she taught them was courage, how to face the challenges of life. She was a very good example of that. See, in the Mahabharata, so many powerful characters are there. Krishna is there, Bhishma is there, Arjuna, each Pandava. In that, many people miss a person like Kunti, who was an extremely powerful character, but she did everything silently. She lost her husband, and then she, had to see the war, the fight between her own sons and her and their cousins. So, in spite of going through so many struggles in life, she did whatever she ought to do. Selflessly, she did her duties. So, when we talk of Krishna, Arjuna, and all that, sometimes we miss out on these people who just did everything silently. You know, that usually happens. A person becomes very successful and he gets an award, let us say. At that time he says, the reason why I got this award, it was because of my mother, or it was because of my father, or it is because of my wife or husband, whatever it is. Now that person who supported him or her, that person is unknown. They come to light only when this person mentions about them. Silently, they do their duties. There are many, many yogis who just silently, they are radiating that infinite energy and they are giving healing to the entire humanity. They are unknown. People who have very little stuff, they market themselves and, false marketing again. The marketing is not wrong, but if you are projecting something which you don't have, and they get a huge following and they become famous. Real people with real stuff. I know many yogis who, some of them have left their bodies unknown. You know, this incident happened in the Himalayas where a man was walking and he fell down. It was a rugged place and he fell down and he got hurt. So much of pain he was going through. And there was a yogi who was sitting. The man was unable to see the yogi, but the yogi was able to see him from that angle. He immediately closed his eyes and gave him healing. The man was struggling with pain and the pain went away. So when the pain went away, he just got up. He didn't even understand what had happened and he just left. For his entire life, the man will never come to know that that yogi only helped him. And the yogi was not bothered. Once the man went away, he continued with whatever he was doing. So the unsung heroes, unsung great people, they are there. Actually, if you take this entire world, so many people, they are just doing their work silently. Silently means without wanting name and fame and all that. So we should learn to bow down to them. Kunti was one such person. So what he's trying to tell Arjuna is, Arjuna, you are born to Kunti. Kunti was Krishna's aunt also, incidentally. So you are born to Kunti, who was just selfless, who kept doing her duties. So he is urging him, having come from uh, that lineage, you're coming from Kunti, now you should also start doing your duties, start doing, start following the Yajna Chakram. So by calling him Partha, it's a powerful psychological boost he's giving him, he's inspiring him. Follow the footsteps of your mother, he says. See, the choice of words, what name he calls is very interesting. In different contexts, he, uh, he, he uses different names to inspire Arjuna. Elsewhere, he uses the similar name, Kaunteya, to say that don't get stuck with merely family. You rise beyond that. Whole world is your family, start thinking about others. For that also he uses. So it all depends on the context. Here, there is no other name which will be perfectly suitable than Partha. See, in the context you read it. One who does not follow the revolving wheel thus set here, sinful, delighting in the senses, he lives in vain. Oh, Partha, means you should not fall a prey to this. You should rise above all this. Okay, so we'll stop with that. Next week, we'll move on to the next verse. That is verse number 17. I'll just summarize this verse briefly and give some subtler angles, and then we'll move on to the next verse, because next verse is going to be at a different level. He's going to take you to a different level of inspiration. The positive consequences we'll start seeing directly. So every bit of it is just going to inspire you and push you to a higher level. And we are very fortunate that we are going to have the Yoga Sankirtan empowerment course from tomorrow. So 1 week Yoga Sankirtan empowerment course, we're going to be blasted with the highest energy. And then when you come back, the positive consequences of Yajna, you will be very much prepared to receive the higher energy and grow further. Okay, so before we do Nididhyasana, I'll just take up a couple of questions related to tomorrow's empowerment. I'm just giving priority to that right now. Dearest Yogishri, I really want to attend the Yoga Sankirtan empowerment course, but I am having a guilt that I have not done my personal sadhana for the last 2 months properly. Is it okay to attend in spite of this? I have been attending the Sunday sessions regularly though. Thank you so much. See, the first thing is drop that guilt. If you have done something wrong, look at correction. Instead of just simply feeling guilty and sitting with it, why don't you correct yourself? So you're asking whether is it okay to attend the empowerment even though I have not done my sadhana properly. I don't know what you mean by properly. Let's assume that you have not done sadhana at all last 2 months. So is it okay? Because I did mention that empowerment programs are not substitutes for your personal effort. See, you can look at it in two ways. I have not done my sadhana last 2 months, so therefore I am not fit for empowerment. That is a very pessimistic way of looking at it. My idea of telling you, urging you to do your personal sadhana is so that you will maximize your benefits. But you can take the empowerment course as a powerful start to get back. Okay, I missed 2 months of sadhana. Now let me get into this empowerment. Let me have a powerful start. So I will restart my sadhana after that. That could be your approach. So view everything positively. And anyway, you have attended the Sunday sessions regularly. So that part of it, the connection is there, which is very good. So, okay, last 2 months you didn't do. No, that is past. Leave it. Attend the empowerment, get the benefit. See, when that opportunity is there in front of you, get that higher help and restart, no? So, is it okay means how you will not lose anything. See, we are trying to maximize the benefits, but nobody will lose anything. Okay. So, keep the inspiration going. Don't look at the past mistakes, rather look at them only to make corrections now. As long as you have a firm resolve, now everything else will get set. So if you have that intention of doing the sadhana, bettering your life, then do attend. But if you're going to say, I'll only do the empowerment, after that I don't know and all that, then what is the point? So you yourself decide this. I've given you the necessary input. Okay. Next question is, respected Yogishri, my brother had an accident last week and severely injured his spine. My best wishes to him to get healed very fast. He wants to attend the empowerment but will not be able to sit straight this time since doctor has advised lying down rest for another few weeks. Is that fine? Thanking you in advance. See, you have written thanking you in advance, which means the indirect message you are giving to me is, sir, you have to now allow him to attend. Which is a very nice diplomatic way of putting it. Yes, definitely he can attend. I have no choice now because your intention is so pure. I've already scanned the energy of your brother. His energy is also very nice, and he genuinely wants to do it. And I appreciate your diplomacy when you say, I thank you in advance. See, this is how you should create your life. I want all the other sadhaks also to make a note of it. He is not giving a choice to the Guru. He's saying, now, I've already thanked you in advance for whatever you're going to give me. You're going to say yes. See, so he has created it. So I have no choice but to just be a tool in your creation now. The bhavana is so nice, It's not doing it with stubbornness and all that, not with ego, but with a very loving bhavana. You're asking for the positive and you're not hesitating in asking. That is a wonderful quality. So keeping the spine straight and all that is very important. But here is a case where he's right now bedridden. So that is perfectly fine. Ultimately, the bhavana matters, and if you can, mention his name, and if you can just put a note, if you can mail, so that when they are keeping the list of names of the attendees, all those are usually kept in front. If that note is also there that he's had an accident and he'll be lying down, I'll definitely give special care for that. Even some others have asked about whether they can register their elderly parents, who some of them may be attending, some of them are not in a position to attend because of certain physical issues. Yes, but make a mention of that so that that list alone I want it separately kept on my in front of me when I give the empowerment, so that special healing can be given to them. Okay, so now we'll do the Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. Feel the divine vibrations. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper within myself. Beyond this physical body, beyond these various emotions and thoughts, lies my real self, the infinite supreme reality. From this moment onwards, I choose to follow the Yajna Chakra in my life. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Wriggle your fingers, your toes. Open and close your palms a few times. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. And cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, your cheeks, forehead, the top of your head, the back of your head, your neck, and slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. We had a very powerful session today. practical principles were given to you. These are all very highly inspiring. You should understand your own worth, having taken this human birth. So from tomorrow, for the next 6 days, we are going to have a powerful Yoga Sankirtan meditation empowerment course. A lot of divine energy is going to be infused into your life. This time, the energy levels are going to be very high, aimed towards making you a very strong person. A mind should become so strong. In this time where so much of turmoil is going on in the world, you need to build that inner strength, that mental strength. Whatever messages I get in the deeper meditation, that which is good for you, I just pass on. These things are not planned intellectually. Since you're all connected to the higher, you're connected here, this yogic approach, whatever is suitable, automatically I get those messages. So for these next 6 days, you don't need to do any other sadhana. It's going to be intense sadhana with the master, with all the masters, because many yogis, many siddhas will be doing the healing. So just stick to that time and with complete sincerity and that intention, that pure intention to change yourself for the better, attend this empowerment course. Okay? So thank you very much. Hari Om.